The expedition began as a simple archaeological dig, deep in the deserts where time had buried the remains of an ancient civilization. What the researchers found, however, was beyond comprehension. Strange metallic devices, inscriptions in a language older than any known script, and remnants of technology that defied modern understanding. It was as if an advanced scientific empire had thrived long before recorded history. At first, the team marveled at the discoveries. The mechanism seemed capable of generating energy without any visible power source. The scrolls depicted astronomical maps of planets that modern telescopes had only recently confirmed, and medical diagrams detailed procedures far beyond modern surgery. The deeper they delved, the clearer it became humanity was not the first to reach this level of advancement. Then came the warnings. Hidden among the texts were accounts of an event that led to their downfall. The descriptions were vague but chilling. Something had gone horribly wrong, something so catastrophic that the ancient civilization had collapsed, erasing almost all traces of their existence. The researchers debated whether the warnings were merely mythology or a real historical event. But when they activated one of the devices, they got their answer. The ground trembled, shadows shifted unnaturally, and a strange energy pulsed through the ruins. Suddenly, time itself seemed to ripple, as if the past and present were merging. The team realized, too late, that they hadn't just uncovered ancient knowledge, they had reawakened something. Something that had been buried for a reason. And now, the same mistakes that led to the downfall of an ancient world threatened to consume the present. Would humanity learn from history, or was it doomed to repeat it? Deep beneath the sands of an uncharted desert, an archaeological team stumbled upon what would become the most groundbreaking discovery in human history. At first, they believed they had uncovered the ruins of an ancient civilization lost to time, but as they carefully unearthed the remains, they realized this was no ordinary dig site. Strange metallic structures jutted out from beneath the stone, covered in glyphs and symbols that bore no resemblance to any known language. The further they dug, the more they uncovered a massive underground chamber sealed for thousands of years, untouched by the passage of time. Inside, they found artifacts that defied explanation, devices made from materials unknown to modern science, intricate machinery that showed no signs of wear, and strange energy pulses emanating from relics that seemed as if they were still operational. Among the most astonishing discoveries were tablets inscribed with detailed diagrams, depicting not only star constellations but also what appeared to be blueprints for advanced technology, engines far beyond modern engineering, biological enhancements that suggested knowledge of genetics more advanced than today's medicine, and depictions of vast cities powered by forces unknown. These findings challenged every historical record known to man. How could an ancient civilization, predating recorded history, have possessed such knowledge? As the archaeologists deciphered the inscriptions, a chilling possibility emerged. This was not the lost work of an early human society, it was something else, something older, something that had reached scientific heights before mysteriously vanishing. The deeper they investigated, the more they realized they weren't just uncovering history, they were standing on the precipice of rediscovering knowledge that had been deliberately buried. But as the excavation continued, strange occurrences began to happen, and an unsettling question loomed over them: why had this knowledge been hidden in the first place? As the team delved further into the underground chambers, they uncovered a series of massive stone doors, each sealed with intricate locking mechanisms. It was as if someone or something had deliberately hidden these discoveries away, ensuring they would never see the light of day again. After painstaking efforts, they managed to crack the first seal, revealing a grand hall lined with towering pillars covered in inscriptions. At the center of the room stood a colossal artifact, a machine that seemed impossibly advanced for its supposed age. Though coated in centuries of dust, It pulsed faintly with an unknown energy, as if waiting to be awakened. The inscriptions on the walls seemed to tell a story, one of a civilization that had reached technological mastery long before modern history began. They had harnessed forces beyond human comprehension, manipulating energy, matter, and even time itself. But then, something had gone wrong. The glyphs showed scenes of destruction, of landscapes torn apart by forces beyond control, of cities reduced to wastelands, and of people fleeing from an unseen catastrophe. It was not war, nor was it disease. The texts suggested that their own advancements had become their downfall. The lead scientist, Dr. Evelyn Carter, theorized that these ancient people had created something so powerful that it threatened their very existence. Perhaps they had meddled with forces they could not contain. Perhaps they had built machines that eventually turned against them. Or perhaps their own arrogance had led them to a disaster they could not undo. Whatever the case, they had chosen to bury their knowledge, sealing it away so that no future civilization could repeat their mistakes. But now, with the discovery of these ancient wonders, the question arose: had humanity just unlocked a power it was never meant to wield? As the team explored deeper into the ruins, they stumbled upon a vast underground chamber lined with metallic walls that had not corroded despite the passage of thousands of years. Embedded into these walls were strange devices, machines unlike anything modern science could explain. At the center of the chamber stood a single pedestal, upon which rested a spherical object, shimmering with an unnatural glow. Despite its ancient origins, the object pulsed with energy, as if it were still active, still waiting for something, or someone. Dr. Evelyn Carter hesitated before reaching out, her gloved hand hovering over the sphere. The team's instruments were detecting an immense energy field surrounding it, something far beyond human technology. The inscriptions on the pedestal were partially translated, revealing a warning: do not awaken that which sleeps beneath the veil of time. But curiosity and the thrill of discovery overpowered caution. The moment her fingers brushed the surface of the sphere, the entire room came alive. Lights flickered along the walls as symbols and complex equations began appearing on floating holograms. The machines, dormant for millennia, roared back to life, humming with a deep, resonant frequency. Then, without warning, a massive structure at the end of the chamber began to shift. It was a doorway, one not meant to be opened again. A deep, mechanical voice echoed through the chamber in a language no one could understand, yet its intent was clear. This was not just a relic of the past. It was a fail-safe. A containment system. And now, humanity had unknowingly undone the last safeguard of an ancient civilization. Something had been sealed away for a reason. And now, it was awake. The moment the doorway fully opened, an eerie silence filled the chamber, as if the very air had been sucked away. The team, frozen in awe and terror, stared into the abyss beyond the threshold. Inside was not the expected ruins of an ancient city, nor the remains of a long-forgotten civilization. Instead, it was a void, an endless expanse of darkness where stars should have been, where time itself seemed to unravel. And then, something moved. A shape began to form, shifting and writhing like liquid shadow, yet exuding an overwhelming presence. It was not a creature in any conventional sense, it was a construct, an intelligence, a force beyond comprehension. The machines lining the chamber reacted violently to its emergence, their ancient mechanisms sparking and shaking as if rejecting the very thing they were built to contain. The inscriptions on the walls, once glowing faintly, now burned with violent red light. Dr. Evelyn Carter felt an overwhelming wave of knowledge flooding her mind, images of civilizations long erased from history, of worlds consumed and rewritten, of the warnings left behind by those who came before. This was no discovery. This was a prison, a last-ditch effort by an ancient race to lock away something that should never have existed. The entity did not attack. It did not need to. Its mere presence fractured reality, distorting everything around it. The walls of the chamber twisted, the ground beneath them rippled like liquid, and in that moment, Evelyn realized the horrifying truth: this thing had no interest in humanity. It had simply been waiting. And now that the door was open, it was free to spread once more. To finish what it had started eons ago. Panic gripped the expedition team as the chamber trembled, dust and debris cascading from the ceiling. The entity, formless yet overwhelming, pulsed with an eerie glow, shifting in and out of existence as if reality itself struggled to contain it. Dr. Evelyn Carter fought against the instinct to flee, knowing that whatever had been unleashed was beyond human comprehension. The ancient machinery, once dormant, flickered to life in response to the intruder's presence, its alien script illuminating the walls in a sequence too rapid to decipher. Symbols that had once seemed like mere inscriptions now carried a terrifying message, one that spoke of warnings left by those who had come before, civilizations wiped from history by the very thing now standing before them. The energy in the room swelled, warping the air, bending light in unnatural ways. The entity did not move toward them, nor did it speak. It simply existed, its presence rewriting the laws of physics around it. The walls of the chamber began to fade, revealing glimpses of landscapes that defied reality: mountains that floated upside down, rivers that flowed through the sky, and structures so vast they stretched into infinity. It was not a window to another world, it was a tear in existence itself. Dr. Carter's mind burned with the knowledge forced upon her. This was not merely an ancient discovery, it was the return of something the universe had tried to forget. And now, by their hands, it had been set free. As the entity expanded, consuming the chamber with its unrelenting presence, she understood that humanity had not uncovered history. They had reawakened its greatest mistake. And there was no turning back.